Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. So we are working on the rodent infested Honda Big Red 250 ES, and just quickly, we have a whole lot of nothing here. So I'm thinking after 30 years, 20 years of doing a lot of nothing, the battery died. That's my fault, obviously. So where's the battery on this thing? It is in a nice buried spot here. Looks like what I'm going to have to do is jack it up and take that tire off. And while I'm doing that, I might as well swap that tire with that tire over there. Hopefully it's not square on the bottom. As a matter of fact, I should put air in it right now and determine that. Anyway, so I'm going to swap the tire over and change the battery. Let's see if we can't get some lights on this thing. The reason why I'm making a video on this in particular is I jumped the battery. I put power to this battery and I turned that key on and off, and I didn't get any indicator lights. So I'm going through the little bit of extra time and effort here because I have the feeling we're going to be troubleshooting some mouse-eaten wire. Some people work on Big Reds all the time. Some of them do not. But these have a nice, easy trunk situation. There's two of these. One here, one here. You unscrew them, you lift the trunk up, and you could get right to the battery as I'm showing you here. Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. You guys could see I changed the battery, and to do that, got one bolt, slide the battery back, screwdriver to loosen up the two battery terminals, take those off. Once the battery and all is out, you can lift up the battery box. It sits in two pegs, so to speak. You can see it right there, right? That lets the battery box move back. Once you move the battery box back, you undo this clamp and that clamp, and that allows you to move the air cleaner backwards, and you move the air cleaner backwards and get it out of there because you don't want to catch that mouse virus. You can see the mice came in through here, which means they came in through the frame, so I'm going to have to snake out that whole frame to clean that up, but I digress. So now that it has a live battery in it, I kind of shook and messed around with the switch, and it appears as if I got the power functioning again. And if you listen, so now the next thing to do is see if we have spark. Assuming we have spark, I'll check the oil and we'll try to start up this thing. I'll pull off that gas line, trickle some gas into it. Maybe she'll start right on up. The little battery wasn't quite enough to crank this thing, so we added a jump pack. Let's take a look at the spark. You guys see that? Alright, let's assume you saw that. Let's put the spark plug in. Okay tubers, I got the jump packs on there, choke. I put gas in, give it a starting fluid, and listen. Turn it on, of course. I got nothing. I think the carburetor needs to come off and apart, get cleaned, and then we'll give it another shot. By the way, to get the carburetor off, you take off your muzzle right there. You just have to loosen that, wiggle it off. Then you loosen up this clamp, obviously from the other side. You can see the screw threads here. You kind of get all this loose and wiggle it out the back. Only should take a couple of minutes. Like magic, the carburetor is loose. Once again, I mentioned loosening that up. And then I actually kind of slipped the screwdriver in between and pried from both sides to get it to slip out. This is pretty stiff after I don't know, what is it, 30, 40 years old, 35 years old. So anyway, I pried it loose. What's next is taking the choke out, loosening this a little bit, taking all the bolts out, taking that off, getting the carburetor loose, bringing it into the garage, and hopefully I open it up and don't find it all corroded in there. Okay, tubers, I rebuilt the carburetor and I couldn't really see a reason why it wouldn't start or at least kick, which makes me suspicious that the intake valve is not sealing properly. So we put the compression tester on there and here we go. Let me give you a hint. It should be not puffing out the intake valve like that. That steam coming out, that is not a good sign. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the cap and we'll take a look in there. For those interested in the carburetor cleaning, I'm going to post that as a different video, so otherwise this gets way too long. So let me pull that cap and see if the valve follower, the valve lash, let's go with valve lash, is too tight. So hopefully I'm showing this to you and hopefully you can hear it. Valve lash is plenty loose enough. That means my my intake valve is not sealing properly. So there are two ways to really fix this. The right way is to pull the head off, and to pull that head off I got to pull the motor, and homie isn't in the mood to do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to gently tap on that so that hopefully it'll spring back. I want to make sure the piston is down before I tap on it because I don't want to bang. You know, I don't think it's going to move much. I think mostly it's going to be vibration, excuse me, from tapping on it. But I'm going to tap on it and hopefully that'll free up what's ever around the valve and allow me to get full compression out of it. I've already sprayed the intake and I've sprayed around the valve. But yeah, that's not good. I hope that she's not loose. I mean, I gently turned it. I didn't force it, so I'm hoping that I didn't bend the valve just that slight little bit, which will make it such that it doesn't seal. I have other engines floating around so I can pull the head off of one and put it on this, but this is a good solid original engine and I'd really rather not do that. So I put the screwdriver on it like that, right? You could see the screwdriver, and I tapped it with the hammer right there, and I checked it again and I'm at about 95, give or take a little bit. So I'm going to give it a little more of this, and then we're going to put together and see if she'll start. So the best I could do is just under 100. You know what? I think I'm going to give it a shot. Keep your fingers crossed. Let's hope for the best. So the question is, am I lucky? I'm going to try to give this thing a start. First starting fluid, right? A hood'll do ya. I already put gas in here. Choke's on. Right, I could give a gas with the other hand and right. Runs. Hasn't been started in 20 years. Surprised it's not smoking more, considering all the crap I put in it. Let's give it a little more choke. The light appears bright, like the battery's good. The idle will probably come up as everything breaks in. I have to tell you, this thing and I spent a few years, we were not separable. I mean, by the rope in the back and all, this thing did a lot of work before the 4x4 came on. Yep. It's even idling. Might be low on gas at this point. Probably ran it out of gas, which is okay. So, I can't finish this up because I have to buy a real battery for it, first of all. Well, actually, I bought it. I'm waiting for it to show up. I also need an air cleaner, and I need to clean out that mess, including this pipe and all. So I'm gonna put this thing away for tonight. Wait for those parts to come in. So you might not see it for a couple of days. Don't think I forgot about it. We're gonna bring this thing completely back to life. Oh, I also have the gas tank. You guys think there's any hope for this tire? Yeah, I don't even think sealer will do that. So, yeah. What else do I have? I have the gas tank. I gotta dump it out. There's some horrible stuff in there. I have to so I have to order gas tank sealer. I have a battery on order, and I have an air cleaner on order. The battery was $30. The air cleaner was like $25, and the stuff to seal the gas tank, I don't know, what's that go for? I think it's around $50. But I get more than one use out of the can. Plus I gotta etch it. Sometimes when you're stupid and you leave your toys to rot, you get what's coming to you, like some expensive repairs. Anyway, I want to thank everybody who was with me for this adventure. I want you all to keep your feet down, your heads up, and I want you all to get out there and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.